Stu here with Raid Shadow Legends. I'm about to show you one team that can beat them all three dungeons. Dragons, I did them in that order. I did Dragons, Ice Golem, and then I did Fire Knight, but I'm going to go in reverse. I did one take of all those dungeons just now. I'm going to play it back, but I'm going to play it from Fire Knight first, and then we'll jump into Dragons and Ice Golem because I don't want to lose people along the way. I want them to see how strong this team is, even in Fire Knight. It's one team, no legendaries, 2 rares, 3 epics. They can do Fire Knight 20, Dragons 20, and Ice Golem 20. Unfortunately, we can't do spiders. You know how spiders is. We cannot do that. We're going to play this right now. Let's get into it. You're going to see the team. We're going to go over here. Again, this is the end of the clip that I recorded. I went to all 3. Here is the team. It is a full magic team. We are going into Fire Knights where they're all weak affinity. Now, let's take note of everything here. We've got a Terrell. Lowest HP, very high defense. Whenever you have the lowest HP in dungeons, there you go. They will attack that champion. So you see everybody gunning for Terrell, all of them, which is great because he has high defense. He can take the beats, but that's okay. Even if he dies, which we're assuming he's going to die here, we are playing Force against an all magic team. Then we've got Gorgorab here to pick up. This team synergy is so amazing. I cannot take credit for this. Somebody sent me this about a month ago and had said, "Hey Stu, I run all the dungeons with this group." And I said, "Really? That's interesting." And I said, I'll look into it because I thought it was pretty cool. I was like, okay, you run every single dungeon with this group right here. And they're all great champions. They all do amazing things. But I never really looked into it until today. Somebody just messaged me again and said, "Stu, do you know any 4-core group or 5-core group of champions that can run all 3 dungeons?" And I was like, you know what? I do. Somebody sent me some information on it. If that's you, please leave a comment below. I'm so sorry. It's probably somebody I talk to really often. I just don't remember because really it was like a month ago, a month and a half ago. This was the group they gave me. I didn't change any gear on my champions. I think I'm kind of cheating a little bit because my Terrell has stun artifacts on. My Gorgorab has poison artifacts on. And then I think that's it. I think our Kale over here has lifesteal. And Apothecary probably has the HP shield set on. So they all do have a little bit different sets. But they work, you know, each of these champions in general are top tier champions for what they do. We've got, you know, with Allure, we've got turn meter reduction, which you just can't beat. It's so good. Apothecary, you know how good Apothecary is. You know how good Terrell's like epic plus. Gorgorab can pick up the whole entire team and keep trucking. And Kale there can do the poisons, which we're going to need on things like the Dragon and on Ice Golem, which we're going to see all that. But look, we're already on wave 2. We are already on wave 2, and we're managing these guys very easily. Again, in dungeons, I know I've said this a lot, but I like to drive this home. In dungeons, the AI will always attack somebody with the lowest HP. And then that's going to be probably somebody with the highest defense, hopefully. Hopefully that's how you have it set up. And if you bring in someone like a Void Champion, they'll usually always gun for that Void Champion. So if you want to bring in somebody like a Seducer, that way they'll all go after that Seducer. It's a really good thing to do. But right now you can see we've all got the same affinity, so it's really easy to manipulate it, right? We're all the same affinity. The AI is like, okay, I see you're all magic. We're just going to go after whoever has the lowest HP, and that's Terrell. So we've got him hooked up. So it's harder to beat him, right? Now we got a bad beat here. Actually, this is a 1 in 10 chance that this is going to happen on these runs. And it's good that I showed you this because actually we got a really bad beat. Normally, he'll never have his shield up like this. But unfortunately, we had just bad timing and we didn't get his turn meter down enough to keep it down right away. Like I said, it only happened like 1 out of every 10 times that will happen that way. And it's not good because then he gets to he hits us and puts that slow speed on us, which means we got to catch up and do it again, which we did, of course. We're going to do it again. We're going to beat him. Not an issue, but it made the time slower. So our run speed here for this would actually be about, I don't know, 15 seconds, 20 seconds faster. I'm not talking about a crazy difference, but still, it's a difference. And I wanted you to understand what happened there with him actually getting his shields. We didn't get the shield. We didn't be able to penetrate the shield and keep the turn meter down. He was actually able to take a turn. And whenever he takes that first turn, he puts that slow speed on you. So it could be kind of hard for some teams to come back from that. But not a problem with this team. We all do have really, really good speeds on all these champions. We'll go over these champions at the very end so you can look at all their gear because I don't even remember what gear I have on them. Again, somebody asked me about this. I thought it was a cool idea for a video, at least fun to do and easy for me to do really quick because I had these champions. So all I did is hit play. I went into Dragons, I went into Ice Golem, and I went here, recorded it flat, hit stop recording. I'm playing it right now so we can watch through it and I can just gab all about it, all on top of it, and that's it. So if you leave this video now, go check out their gear. If you want to see their gear, you can see their gear. There's no high crit damage in here. There's no high crit rate in here. It's just basically just getting through it and doing what we need to do. Allure is the only one in here with 100% crit because she needs a crit to lower turn meter. Everybody else is like Kale's got no crit. Obviously, Terrell doesn't have much crit. Gorgorab, of course, doesn't. And then our rest of them over here. Who else was it? And our Kales and Lifesteal Killer. Okay, so this is the end of the video. We're going to rewind it. See, 12 minutes, 44 seconds. We're going to rewind all the way to the beginning. Hit play. Let's go. All right, this is what I did. I came in here. We're going to see dragons too. Now, keep in mind, in dragons, it's always a little bit weird with this AI. I think the Hordens or somebody is programmed to do damage to somebody else, like the most attack person or something, because they do go off a little bit, but then they get back on track with who they're supposed to attack. And this happens a lot because I run dragons all the time. It's kind of weird. We've had this issue a lot. There must be some kind of coding where the Horden wants to go after your highest DPS or something. There's got to be something else in there because it's weird sometimes. But do keep in mind, though, if we have AoE situations, if you have situations right here where there's AoE and you have somebody like my Allure take enough damage to where she drops down pretty low, they will, of course, go for the low HP person. Then the one that they can finish off, the one that they can attack. But if everybody's at equal HP, they should always go for Terrell. And you'll see it right here. They're going to go for Terrell now. From what I remember, I think they went after him. And they should go after him. They shouldn't be going after her unless they do an AoE. She gets a decreased defense, and she's the only one. But right here, I think everybody gets it. Okay, everybody gets a decreased defense. They still go after Terrell like they should. So good job. They went after who they should be going after, the high defense, so we can take those hits. Allure safe because she can't really take those hits. She's built with good HP because I don't want her to be hit, right? And we'll look at that when we go over the champion's gear. We'll see that she has, I think, 40k HP maybe. I want to get her higher HP, but I'm not able to right now. But that's fine. And I think probably Terrell's maybe floating around 30k HP. That's where most of my people who have defense percentage gloves, defense percentage chests, they float, with whatever gear you level up. They still have around 30k, maybe a little bit lower if there's somebody like my Seducer has a little bit under 30k. But that's fine. Again, it's really good because it lets them be the one that gets attacked. And they don't have to have Provoke, gear on. Provoke is amazing because it makes them attack back with only their skill 1. But at least we're having them go after that person. And as you know, Dragons is not going to be a problem, right? Dragons would not be a problem. We can do it with rares. We can do it with whatever else. But we're trying to show a team that can do all of them with no legendaries. And again, I would love to see if we could do it with spiders, but there's no way. This team can't do it with spiders. Spiders is only tuned for certain champions. We can't do it. We cannot do it. But if you guys know other groups out there that are non-legendaries that work for all 3 dungeons, please let me know. I know you could say, hey, Stu, sub in somebody else or sub in something, but it's not that easy to say sub in somebody because we're all doing an all-magic run. We're doing it specifically for that reason so that we only get attacked. And these champions each fill a role for each of the dungeons that we run. We've got Kale here filling the role for killing the dragon. We have to have him. We can't sub Kale out. We have Allure in here to make sure that we kill the Fire Knight. We can't sub her out. She does an amazing job actually on Ice Golem. A super good job keeping the Ice Golem turn meter down and keeping the side champions down. I couldn't believe it because I never bring her into Ice Golem. She did a phenomenal job. Here we go again from the recording. So we know that's easy. We know that's easy with the good Kale. We go in there, we get through the waves, no problem. Gorgorab is always there to pick us up. I used to play Gorgorab so much back in the day when I got him. He would revive all my people and we would just carry on, no problem. Okay, here we go again. Let's go through this last one and this will be it. We'll look over their gear. We'll alt-tab back over to the actual game and we'll see what's going on with the gear that they have. And that'll be it. So let me know. Really, I am seriously curious if there are other teams out there with no legendaries that you can run through all the dungeons and do really well with. It doesn't matter if they're epics. I prefer not to have Void. That way we don't have to worry about pulling Voids. I'm sure we could say let's get a couple Silars, let's get whatever else. Plus no dupes is really cool too. You could say throw in some really amazing Void champions maybe, but it'd be really good if we can keep it whatever the affinity stuff that we have, no Void champions, limited to, I think having 2 rares in here is very, very cool. That makes it, I know we need a Terrell, Allure, and a Gorgorab, but the thing is, you can look at this and see how it's operating, right? And we're pretty much going to kill ourselves sometimes on these Reflect, of course. We don't have any way to take off these Reflects, except for Gorgorab A1. There we go. Terrell kills himself. That's okay. Gorgorab's got him. And then with Gorgorab bringing him back up, we have Apothecary doing what Apothecary always does, speeding us up, doing those 2-turn heals. We're good to go. We're going to get to the boss, and we're going to do some work. And in this run, we got to the boss in 1 minute and 12 seconds with this team. That's not bad. And if you look at my arena standings, I'm in gold 4 right now. If you look at my Great Hall, The only thing really affecting my Great Hall in Magic Affinity would be I do have 25% additional critical damage. But these guys, again, aren't critting. The only one that's critting all the time is our Allure. And look at her damage. She's not built to do massive damage. So that additional 25% critical damage that I have for Magic really isn't affecting this team. We're not really killing them. We're not coming in here and doing an AoE with Royal Guard to beast them down. It's not like that at all. So I'm really happy about this team, and I hope this will help some people out there to get through content. Of course, you could sub in whatever you need for these each dungeons. Obviously, you don't have to keep this team together. If you go up against whatever else, you can change it out. But keep in mind, it works really well too because it's all the same affinity in how we're making it happen. Again, if you want to put in, like for this stage, if you wanted to put in somebody like a Seducer, they're going to gun after that Seducer. He's going to have high HP, he's going to have high defense, low HP. They're for sure going to go after the Seducer and nobody else in your group on this one. And Seducer will help you out with here. But who would you sub in? You could sub out Allure here on this part, because you're going to need Kale, you're going to need Gorgorab, you're going to need Terrell, and you're definitely going to need Apothecary. So you could sub out her on this one. You could sub out her on Dragons as well. You definitely need her on Fire Knight. So there are some little things you can sub in and out. It just depends on what you have in your roster and what you want to play with. So play around with it. I hope this helps out. But really, let me know. If you guys run any teams out there that don't have a legendary champion that does really well in all the dungeons, like a full team or a core 4 that you use that don't have any legendaries or void, I should say. No legendaries or no voids, let me know. Let me know what those team comps are and how you're doing with those, and help. I think that'll help a lot of people out there to run all these dungeons. Because sometimes it's hard. It's really hard coming up to be able to think of, hey, who do I want to use my resources on and take this 60 or use my books on? Allure has no books. Gorgorab has books because we want to get that revive down. We want to get the turn meter increase down. And Terrell. So only 2. So 2 have books. Allure has no books. So that's pretty good also. We're only booking 2 champions, Terrell and Gorgorab. That's it. And we don't need full books in the Gorgorab. Wow, I can't believe Gorgorab got so low there. That's kind of scary. Scary, because that right champion does that AoE decreased defense to all of us at 60%. And we got to be ready for that. The best thing to do here is Terrell to get on the boss and give us an attack down. And we've got really easy time beating this. But I think when he got a chance to attack the boss, every time he didn't get it. He didn't get it. Like before this. He attacked the boss before this too. And his skill 1 didn't land the attack down. So as long as we get that on there, we'll be really good. Because right now, we're not taking much damage, but we would have taken a lot less from all those other attacks if we get attacked down on him. So you could sub out whoever. If you could bring in Madame Cirrus in here with this team, you could do that. But she probably will be targeted unless she has a lot of HP. And that's it. From here, you're going to see me bounce over to Fire Knight. Because like I said, I did them all back-to-back. Nothing funny. Just to see if it would work. And it worked flawlessly. Let's see. We're going to go to that same team. Fire Knight. And boom, we are back to the beginning. Let's check out their gear. Same old stuff. Okay, let's all tab here. Let's go over here to, if I can get out of here. Come on, let me out. There we go. Quit that. Yes. And we're here in game. Okay. The champions we are using are Allure. So we have basically, with her, for Fire Knight, you need 100% crit and you need accuracy. You got to have accuracy to land her A1. That's what she's all about, the A1. Attacks 3 times at random, so we can't use her on Spider. Random never works. Decrease the turn meter by 25% for each critical hit. We need 100% critical hit, and we need accuracy to make this work. We'll get glancing hits sometimes, sure, on Fire Knight, but everything else she'll be perfectly fine with. And in Fire Knight, that's where she's best at. Even with those glancing hits, it's amazing. We're not really worried about this skill at all, her A3. And this one is pretty cool, but still, again, we're not really worried about it. Masteries, I have, what do I have on her? Okay, so masteries I do. I have Giant Slayer, and I've got some other masteries on her, and I didn't even finish it out. So I do get a little bit of extra damage with Giant Slayer. That's good to have. And we have some other things to counterattack if she were to get hit. Really, we don't need those, but it's kind of cool that she does have that. And then we've got additional critical damage, all that good stuff. Let's look over her artifacts, her total stats that we have on her. She's at 40k, 227 speed, 100% chance to crit because we need that, again, to do her ability. And we need good speed with her, and we need some HP. I want more HP because look at this. We have defense percentage gloves. Not a good thing. I want her HP really, really high so she doesn't get targeted. And then if she does get hit by an AoE, she can shrug it off, no problem. We get heals back on her. We're good to go. But it's okay. It's working out. She has over 40k, and our Terrell is down to 3199. He's almost 4,000. He's got 220 speed, and the rest of this stuff doesn't matter. He's got enough accuracy to do what he needs to do. And again, he's the one in stun artifacts, which I think helped out a little bit in there. I'm sure it did. I just haven't changed this out, so I kept whatever he had on him. I didn't change anything else out. Just kept all the gear they had on him. We went over his total stats, and then you know Terrell what he does. Attack down, AoE, decreased defense. That's why this team's so good together. All the abilities that all these champions do work so well together. Decreased defense, AoE. We get a decreased attack right here. If they're under decreased attack, you can also put them to sleep. You don't see that very often, but it does happen. His A3 is phenomenal. Decreased the turn meter, can do a stun if he depletes it. And then his masteries in here, we do have War Master, and we've got other things to help out with extending debuffs, Evil Eye, which is always great to have. You know the drill. All these ones right here is what I have on him. And I haven't really played him in a long time because I don't use him as my main attack down. I have Altan. I have other champions to use for that. So I really haven't messed with him. Oh, let's go back. So that was Terrell Allure. Now we're going to go over here to Gorgorab. Gorgorab didn't even have a chest piece on. Okay. And he wasn't even doing poisons. So Gorgorab didn't have a chest piece on him. Let's go over here and see what is going on with that. We need to go to poison. And he wasn't even able to put up poisons. So Gorgorab, let's get this on him. 16 speed and HP of 60%. Okay, now let's look at what he's got. Phenomenal stats now. So picture without this on what he had. Let's remove it and see. All right, we're going to go up here. So he had 50K. It really didn't add that much. You would think he'd add more, but that's okay. 504. He wasn't applying poisons. He doesn't really need accuracy. We're not worried about his A1, but let's just put this back on him anyways just to get it on there. And then the rest of these things that I have on all these guys are just, you know, HP, defense, whatever we need to keep them up. You know I love that HP. The more HP, the better for people you don't want to be hit. So that's Gorgorab. You know his skills. We love this right here. We get a turn meter increase. It's going to help us out. We get the increased attack. We're not really worried about that with this group. We just want this one. We want to be brought back to life, 25% HP, and then heal all allies by another 25%. It's truly amazing. This skill 1 is pretty cool to remove a random buff. If we get that, we get that, but we're not really worried about that. We're not trying to force that into him. If we can get enough accuracy so it'll happen, that's great, but it's not really needed. So that was 1, 2, 3. Now we have Apothecary and Kale, right? Apothecary and Kale are the same old Apothecary and Kale you've always seen. We've got Kale here with Lifesteal. I'm guessing HP like I always have. Speed, and I think he's at 185 total speed. Let's look. Oh, no. Kale is up. Kale is big time up. Is this Kale? Damn, I thought I used to have him at 185. He's at 216. Kale is speeding out. No wonder. Like, he was taking like 2 to 3 turns for the dragon sometimes with a buff from Apothecary. No wonder why. I did have him at 185 before. Now he's at 216. There you go. So we got a powerful Kale, 100% crit. We've got crazy stuff on him. 220. Because I think I did a Kale. Did I do a Kale guide or I farmed with Kale? I don't know. Maybe I'm about to do one and we're going to take him in different avenues. We're going to take him as an attacker. We're going to take him as a farmer. I thought I did something like that. HP. There we go. And his masteries. Of course, he's got masteries on him to do more damage and to heal off of War Master from that lifesteal gear. We've got more things to increase his poisons and then accuracy and everything else. So you know the drill with Kale. Normal stuff. We'll get up the big 5% poisons. We'll get up the little poisons. We'll do the AoE, help us get through those waves. And then Apothecary. One of my favorite champions in the game. For sure, one of my favorite rares in the game. Geez, he has big ears. Attacks 3 times at randoms. He does have Giant Slayer on him to help out with some damage. Every 2 turns, does a massive heal. This is so important so that you can 2-turn the waves and just keep going. Take 2 turns to their 1. Your whole team. It helps out so much. Let's look at his gear. He's got shield artifact set on him. He is at almost 50k. Regular old defense, that's fine. 227 speed and 70 accuracy. We don't need accuracy on Apothecary at all. And that's it. That's all we have, guys. Let's look at the mastery here. We've got Giant Slayer, and we have more to increase the buffs if we can. 30% chance to extend the duration of any buff. So that is the team. I hope you guys enjoy it. We'll go back over here really quick. We'll look at the team all together. And that's it. This is the team. Obviously, you'd put Terrell in lead here to get a little bit more defense overall. But I hope this helped. I hope this helped a lot. It's a lot of fun to run this. Please let me know your thoughts below. Let me know if you have any cool teams. And I'll see you guys all in a video soon.